Hello everyone, I am Adorable Heater 64, and on February 5th, 2025 at 11:33 p.m., I created this world with one goal in mind. What do you think that goal is? Well, I kind of went to a challenge generator website, and it told me that I had to kill 5 endermites, so that's what I spent about 5 months, 2 days, and 15 hours doing. And I completed that goal today, July 10th, 2025 at 2:27 p.m. Now I don't have the exact seconds thing cuz I guess the computer doesn't calculate that. But to celebrate this goal, I am going to be showing you a full tour of basically everything that I've accumulated over the past 5 months. Here we go. So this is my home. This was the very first base that I made when I first started this world. This is my crafting table. This is a little flower pot that I put here. That's a torch, but you would know that. This is a furnace. Of course you know that. I don't even know why I'm explaining that to you, but oh yeah, this is what my inventory looks like. I'm not wearing any armor. Oh yeah, I was going to do this in survival, but I figured it would be more convenient to do it in creative instead, so that's what we're doing. This is what inside of my chest is. I have 6 diamonds. I spent a long time grinding for those. This is a very expensive anvil. These are my chests from when I went away to that desert. Oh yeah, if you're curious to know what it looks like from the outside, this is what it looks like. And that's a sign. I'm gonna blur that out. But if we go to the bottom, this is my storage area. The storage area. This is where I used to get my food before I had a big access to food, as you can tell I do now. But basically I used to grow wheat here because I didn't really have a proper food source other than killing cows and pigs. This is my nether room. Now originally when I built this room, it did not have all this netherrack here. It took me about one time I spent 2 hours playing this world, and during those 2 hours I ended up making the netherrack part here to make it look all fancy. I was gonna replace this with stone, but I figured that would be too hard, so I kept this, and yeah. This is the goal room, and basically how it works is, you may be wondering why I called this the goal room. Well, like I said earlier, my goal with this world was to kill 5 endermites. And every time I would kill an endermite, so let's pretend that I didn't kill any endermites, right? All of these lights would be off, and it would be dark. And this is what it would look like if I didn't kill any endermites, right? But if I go to if I flick this lever, so basically every time I kill an endermite, I turn on one of these lights. So if I kill endermite 2, I turn on that one, and that one, and that one, and etc. until all of the lights are on. So that's pretty much a tour of the entire... Oh yeah, I forgot. This is my strip mine. It's gonna take me a minute to get down here. But this was where I got all those diamonds from. I had basically made a strip mine where I cleared out every chunk. It's very big. You're gonna see it in a second. But I basically cleared out every single chunk. I know it's very crowded. I forgot to include a 3rd floor. And this chunk mining, which is what I like to call it, got so big that I literally ran into a cave, and I had to start digging over here. The reason why it's so crowded is because I didn't really think to include a roof, a 3rd layer, so I could, have room to breathe. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the strip mine. I'm reading something, 1 second. After this, we're pretty much gonna go outside, and I'm gonna show you everything outside the house. Oh yeah, this is a little staircase I made. I was gonna extend it more, but I chose not to for simplicity reasons. Oh, whoops. But if we go out here, this was the actual area where I used to kill the endermites. So what I would do is, let me get an ender pearl. What I would do is I would go in this area to keep the endermites in like a contained area, and I would just keep throwing ender pearls until one spawned, and theoretically it would spawn in this area, and then once it did, I could just kill it. So that's how that works. It's so that the endermite doesn't like go everywhere when I'm trying to kill it. You know, it's in like one controlled area and I can see it easily. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Oh yeah. So, before, the whole reason why I made a desert base in the first place is because I read online that endermen spawn more in deserts, like a lot more in deserts. This is a plains biome. But before I did that, I used to go over here all this way and search for endermen, and I would keep, hold on. And I would just keep going this way until I hit a dead end. Somewhere around over here. Yeah, it was this area, and I would just keep doing that all night until I could find an enderman. However, Minecraft has a rule where only a specific amount of a certain mob could spawn in one chunk at one time. Or at all times, basically. So, because I was tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again and maxing out the chunk spawn limit and, you know, not getting any endermen, I decided to build a desert base that's like 4,000 blocks away from here. Alright, what else? Oh yeah, I have all these things to tour in my world because I have a lot to show you and I don't want to forget anything. Okay, so that's what's next, except for it's, wait, I think I put it in one of these chests. Let's see if I can find it. Just stuff cluttered. Oh, there it is. So this is how many ender pearls I have left. It took me about 6 ender pearls to get to the last endermite. I tried doing this the first time, but let's just say I got a little too cocky and I didn't get any. So yeah, that's how many ender pearls I have. I got these discs from a dungeon. Those are like the only discs I've ever got in this world. But yeah, okay, that's that. Okay. So if we go over here near this taiga biome, then we can see. So if I go into spectator mode, what I can do is I can go underneath here, because I put this here to like cover it up, but underneath here is like this massive hole. And one time I fell in that massive hole, so to prevent that, I built like a little boulder over here, like this massive rock. One, because I thought it would look cool and would enhance the aesthetic part of my world. And two, just to cover up that massive hole that I just kept falling into. But if we go further, did I miss it? No, I didn't. So this is a harbor. Let me go back into creative mode for a minute. 1 second. Okay, this is a harbor. That's a boat. I'm pretty sure you knew that. I don't even know why I'm explaining these things. Now, if this harbor design looks familiar, don't worry, you're not crazy. I am a huge Magma Musin fan. He's a Minecraft YouTuber, and I used to watch his videos a lot when I was younger. So, as like a sort of tribute to him, and because I didn't know what else to build to contain my boat, I built this instead based off of his video. I'm going to put an image on the screen and a link into the description. But how it works is you flick these levers. There we go. And you basically go inside the boat. And, yeah, you're sailing pretty much. And, you know, let's say we're coming back from a trip, what we would do, whoops, what we would do is we would turn around, and I tried to do this to prevent the boat from crashing, because that's a thing in 1.8, and we're just gonna slowly guide the boat back into the harbor, and we have to, like, line it up correctly, and then once the boat is in there, we close these to prevent it from slipping. I don't even know why I use the levers. I guess the levers are there for stylistic purposes. But that's pretty much everything for the main part of this world. the real magic happens once we go to the desert area. So if I just type a bunch of characters in here, and I do this will take a few seconds, and now we're here. This is I was gonna like do a montage where I like by hand walked all the way over here, but you know, like I said, it's more convenient if I do it in creative. So starting from left to right, I want to show you this little device I made here. So because my inventory was full and I didn't really have anything else to do during the day, I built this. How it works is if I set the time, so this piece of redstone, this redstone wire is 10 blocks long, right? You can only have a redstone wire 15 blocks long until the signal cuts off, unless you have like a redstone repeater. So it was gonna be 11 blocks to like do the exact time, but basically I would just have Minecraft open and, you know, do other stuff. And I would have this running in the background, and basically when it hits a certain time, just before the stars come out, this note block would play a noise. If I get a button, I can actually show that noise to you. This is the sound that the note block plays. Huh, that's weird. Huh, alright. But basically, if we move this is gonna take a few seconds. And we place a note block here, and we... Oh, whoops. Huh. This is embarrassing. This is the sound it plays when the, This is the sound that the note block plays when it hits that time. So I'm just gonna remove these. Yeah, that's what that device is, and this blue block right here is the area that I would stand. This is another build from Magmamusin that I created. This is his incinerator video, and how it works is I added a lever back here to like, oh, by the way, the trapdoor and lever are not included in the original build, but I decided to include it to make things easier. And because I didn't have the materials to afford an iron trapdoor, I had to deal with this wooden trapdoor. So how it works is you place like a lever behind here, and it, you know, opens the door through like a 1 block area. But basically how it works is you like throw your items in here if you have anything you want to throw away. And this little roof is right here so that you know, you don't fall in. Oh, whoops. Huh, let's try that again. Okay, there we go. So you may be wondering what this is. This is a launch pad that I made. How it works is you may be wondering why I made this. But how it works is you get on top of here, you flick this lever, you hold the S and back button, or the space button, and you climb up this roof, and then the sun would come down from here, which it will show up after, you know, this moon goes away. This is the inside of my house. I don't know if I showed you. These are the inside of the chest. Oh, there's my baked potatoes. I guess I'll take that. This painting took forever to get. I remember wanting a painting in my house, and it like took me forever to get this painting. I ended up breaking it like 2 times, and the process was so tedious. It took me like minutes to get this painting back. I remember wanting this painting specifically, and I spent like at least 5 minutes trying to get it. And this is a little shelf where I put my anvil. And then I included another mine, except for, you know, because I needed iron, and, you know, there's not much exposed iron in a savanna setting, I made this. This one, I mean, I guess you could say this one is a little less crowded than the diamond mine I made. I made this. The reason why there's glass up here is because chests cannot open when solid blocks are on top of them. And because glass is transparent, I can open this and this. And this is for if I find like any iron during the trip, I can just take it out of here and that'll work fine. But that's how that works. The reason why I had this light here is so that it was basically going to be like an alarm clock to tell me, hey, it's time to go back inside. well, not time to go back inside, but, you know, time to, like, go hunt for Enderman. And how it works is, well, I don't know. But basically it would, like, detect the daylight, and then this light would flash whenever it was time to stop mining. But if you guys want a tour of the entire mine, this is what it looks like. There's a little hole here I forgot to cover up. This is an area that I never finished mining because, you know, I had completed the main goal of this world. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for the mine. Did I? Okay. But I still have other things that I want to show you. Oh, yeah, when I get up from here, I also have to, you know, explain something else to you, which this will take just a few seconds. So you may have noticed this sign here, don't forget to bring dirt. You know, that's so that I can, like, cover up holes that I discover, because sometimes iron will embed itself into, like, the floor or walls of the mine, and, you know, we bring dirt to cover up those holes. That's basically what it's for. What else? Okay, I did that. 1 second. Right, I did that. Okay, so I also have something else I want to show you. This is... oh, I almost did that. This is Dana, my pet rabbit. And you may be wondering, she doesn't have a name tag. Well, she actually does. If I go into spectator mode, and I, like, hover over her, you can see that I named her Dana. And you may notice that I have cheats on in this world. No, I did not cheat for any of this. The only reason why I even had cheats on in the first place is so that I could turn on keep inventory and turn off mob griefing to make the game a little easier. I did all of this in survival by hand, and I spent 5 months doing it, which is why this video took forever to come out. So I'm just gonna go back. I'm just gonna go back in creative mode now. And, okay, so this is my potato farm, and as I was getting Dana in here, because rabbits will eat carrots and potatoes, I literally had to cover this up with dirt so that she wouldn't eat them, and the reason why the stairs are here is so that you can get an easy view of the bunny from inside. And you may, have noticed that you saw this little house right here. Well, except for it's not a house, it's a shed. Fun fact, I actually built this exact shed in creative to make sure it was exactly the way I wanted it. I need some purple parts over there. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Except for this one, which has all my materials in it. You may have noticed that I had other chests in my, like, desert house. This is not the desert house, this is the desert shed. Or I guess you could say the other house I showed you is, like, the desert base. This is the desert shed. But basically, everything in here has all the materials I need. And everything in this chest has, like, all the treasures that I found. And this, I'm gonna get to these in a minute. But basically, I put all of the stuff that I was gonna get, stuff that's no room for my inventory here, and these are all the dirt blocks I found while terraforming or mining. Oh yeah, I found Dana in that swamp, because, hold on, 1 second. If we go over this way and we, like, travel a few hundred blocks, you can see that there's a swamp over here. This was the area where I got Dana from. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, yeah, this is a nether portal in the back. I built this because I didn't want to travel all the way back to my home. And, you know, you need quartz to build a daylight sensor, and quartz is only found in the nether. And, you know, I also thought I needed a redstone lamp, but this would output visual signals instead of auditory ones. So I ended up getting glowstone dust by accident, which I never ended up using. But if we go over here, this is what I like to call a fishing box. Now, how it works is, because mobs spawn at nighttime, and, if you want to fish, you're gonna have mobs constantly harassing you. This device prevents that. So how it works is you stand on this spot right here, and you just fish something, and so that if a zombie wants to, get to you, or a skeleton, they don't really have an easy way of doing that. I tested it, and the only way that they can get to you is if they, go across, here, or if they, go over here and swim over here and, shoot you with an arrow. That's actually happened to me before, but it's only happened, once or twice. This fishing box is a lifesaver. So, stupid fire. But, of course, wooden trapdoors are flammable, so I'll have to expect that. Oh yeah, fun fact, I wanted to build this incinerator as a separate part of my house, but, my entire house burned down while trying to do that, so I had to, keep it outside in its own separate area instead to prevent that from happening. So you may notice this, big red arrow. These are what I like to call traffic arrows. Now, the reason why I have these in place is because sometimes I would, so, when I was fishing for Enderman, or hunting for Enderman, I would go this way, right? But sometimes I would travel a little far off to the right. Those arrows are basically there to tell me, hey, you're going too far off this way, try going this way instead. That's basically what it means. There were going to be 3 types of signals. The red arrow that you see right here, which basically tells me, if I'm gonna be going hunting for Enderman from here, then I'm gonna be going this way. So the red arrow is basically where I would go if I was going in, and there was also going to be yellow arrows to guide me a way out, and there was also a green signal, but I don't remember what it was. That's what the lime, whoops, and it's not in my inventory. That's what this lime dye and red wool was here for, but I never ended up finishing it because I had completed my goal of killing 5 endermites. However, that's not all I want to show you. There's actually more. There's actually one more thing I want to show you. It's kind of small, and it's gonna take me a minute to get over there, so you're just gonna have to wait a second. So, if we go over here, you can see that I have this flag. What this flag is, it's basically like a checkpoint or a landmark for me to, stop at. Because, I would, go in from this way. And, this flag is basically there to tell me stop. Plus, it's, a stylistic way of doing things. And, yeah, that's all I have to, that's all I have to showcase. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And I will see you next time. Bye.